In our news bulletin for this evening, the 4-day Kainui Food Festival ends on a high note with good reviews. Niue Fisheries are looking to publish a book highlighting marine stories. Primary school holds the Kaitunupaku activity in line with the Kainui Food Festival and a lead-up to World Food Day. Alofi North's pre-show day fishing competition returns with good catches. The opening of a traditional umusi last Friday at Alofi South marked the beginning of the inaugural Kainui Food Festival, spearheaded by the Niue Chamber of Commerce and Niue Tourism. As the first of its type, the food festival is one way of appealing to a particular tourist market, but also provides an opportunity to showcase a taste of Niue through its food. Premier Toketalangi opened the food festival, explaining the significance of the umusi.
I'd like to welcome you all to Niue's first Kainui. I'd like you all to go and enjoy some of the events that are happening. I'd like you to all enjoy the food that we have here. Niueans are fussy eaters. We say to ourselves, we eat with our noses first, smell it. If it's no good, we don't eat it. We're very fussy, apparently. But anyway, I wish everyone who is participating in this event, and I wish all of us who are here, all God's blessings, and I hereby declare this event officially open.
He also reiterated the importance of these types of events in raising Niue's profile, as well as showcasing Niuean cuisine. With the formalities out of the way, pieces of sea were distributed to onlookers to have a taste, and then entertainment was provided by the Kolimaya dance troupe. This was followed by a kaimakese activity at the commercial centre, where different food stalls were set up and visitors and locals alike purchased tickets to taste some of the food on display. There was a wide variety from fish dishes, unga, pork, pre-ranged chicken, desserts, and all locally made food. On Saturday, a special luncheon was held at the New Zealand High Commission's residence with food specially prepared by the 3 guest chefs brought in from New Zealand to showcase their culinary skills and also judge some of the competitions. For 8 Niue High School students, it was a nerve-wracking experience taking their ideas to develop over a course of a few months with mentors and putting that on a plate served up for judging. We spoke to one of their mentors.
It's a good way for me to develop myself and my skills as well and help the younger students at high school, and I thought it was really good. We were allocated 2 students each, and so I was with Maravinas Johanni and Christy Cornelio, and at first it was a bit of a challenge for them to try and create the dishes themselves and come up using 80% of the Niuean ingredients, and throughout the progress of the 7 weeks that we were together, I think I'm really, really proud of them. They did really, really well, and the dish that they presented today was their idea, and I just helped them along and just encouraged them. And we had a few hitches on the way, but as you do, and so we tried so many different ways to recreate the whaikai and use our lily and whatever, but it was really exciting.
Each of the teams were required to make a dish made of 80% local products and provide a brief explanation of the dish selection and how it was prepared. This was all done at the Matawai Resort yesterday morning.
Our dish was a smoked kulapu snapper thing, and our mentor was Karen. We pretty much created our whole dish like within a week and a half, even though we're supposed to have longer, but we had a lot of messes up and that. But our dish was really different because we had a lot of different items in that. We had a salsa, the smoked fish, and deep fried chips on the side as well. The rule book said that we had to have at least 80% local produce on our dish, but we pretty much used that. The only thing that wasn't local was the salt we used. Everything on our dish was edible, which was one of the guidelines on the sheet of paper. So you could pretty much eat everything, but it was really good.
The 3 of us were incredibly blown away how it sort of came together and how smart the kids were, and I know how it can be quite nervous to get people to judge your food and talk about it. I was pretty impressed with some of the dishes, especially one that won yesterday. That was incredible. It was nicely balanced. and there was a nice introduction of smoke. How the final dish was, the fish was prepared, which is, smoke is a big thing in the island cooking. Like having a umu and that. So it was nice to see how they introduced that element of cooking into the food, and it shows that they're thinking, and it shows that people love to be creative, but at the same time keeping the essential of what Polynesian and what local food's about.
However, the signature dish competition proved a bit more challenging, with 3 very different and unique dishes.
Every dish had a highlight, and it was hard to to pick one over the other. So we went outside and decided, it's hard to say which one is the best, because each dish had the first dish, was like a oka, to us which is it's such a Polynesian thing, and then the next one over was just using different ingredients. The first time I had coconuts, the inside of the coconut, the sponge. It's the first time I had it in Niue, cooked twice, and so it's quite a unique thing in me. I've seen a lot of different foods, but sometimes when you come to places like this, you still learn new things. So, and then the last dish, I guess, was just ravioli with the local coconut crabs, which is was nicely seasoned, and I think it was the way she did it just kept it quite natural, which is it shows a lot of I guess in some ways discipline to not to over garnish anything and just sort of trust the ingredient to show for itself. So that's why we went 3 ways. It was just too hard to pick which one was better than the other.
It was just a last minute thing, and I just I used unga. I did a unga ravioli in like a lime butter sauce, and I was just doing it just to enter and just see how it will come out, and it ended up being on the top 3, so I was really surprised, and then I was in a bit of a panic because I couldn't find a unga for the final dish, but it came through. I managed to. So it was a bit difficult because we were cooking out the back with the students for their dish, junior chef, and then straight away afterwards I had to prepare my dish, so it was a bit of chaos out the back, but it came through. It was a good experience, and I was really happy that I could prepare a dish and create a dish for those 3 chefs.
We're all winners because we did well, and it's a lot of work. And I'm happy also to represent our island and to do the Niue, to be in the Niue Kai Festival. And like I said, it's something new for me, and I'm very proud.
Hopefully the festival will keep going, and if we get to come back, we'd love to come back. I'm sure the first one's always going to be a bit of a challenge, a hard one to set up, but after that, one thing I sort of saw was how everybody got together, and people just pulled in to make it happen, and I was very impressed with that.
After only a few months of preparation, organisers have managed to pull off a rather unique and successful event that will hopefully grow over the years. Niue's Fisheries Division is in the process of compiling a bilingual marine storybook that will document traditional knowledge and Niuean way of living off the sea. The project is being supported by the Secretariat of the Pacific Community, who are also involved in Niue coastal fisheries awareness. Those involved in developing the project say that stories can be structured in the form of a poem, a story, an adventure, or as a technique to capture the connection to marine life and also recognize the changes and how far we've come as people of the sea.
We have a coastal fisheries management and development plan that we are finalizing, and in this plan there's an objective to document traditional fishing methods. So with this book we're hoping for everyone to contribute in terms of providing stories, past and present stories, which includes traditional fishing methods or methods which we can use to incorporate into management strategies for sustainable fishing.
Nadia says that stories can be from the past, present, or traditional marine stories open to all ages and gender who can participate in this project.
We all have some sort of affiliation with the marine environment, whether it's fishing or whether it's just going out with your family, spending a day out on the reef, or out fishing on the boat. And we're hoping people will be willing to provide those sorts of stories, so we're able to have an overall idea of or understanding of a Niuean's interaction with the sea. As I explained before, the stories we're after old stories, old Niuean stories, whether it's fishing or fictional stories.
The expectation is that all stories will be handed in by the end of November to be reviewed and inserted into the Marine Storybook that is projected to be completed by the end of December. Niue primary students were taken on a trip down memory lane centered around the value of food with a Kai Tunupaku program held last Friday. The special program, coordinated by the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, was a lead-up to World Food Day celebrations that will be held on the 16th of October and also coincide with the Kai Niue Food Festival. Some of the key messages that DAF were promoting was that family farming is the predominant form of agriculture in both developed and developing countries. The day began with the school assembly where the Chamber of Commerce were able to distribute prizes for a poster competition focused on Kai Niue and local foods. This was supported through the FAO Value Adding Project. Director of DAF, Brendan Pasisi, emphasized that family farmers are an important part of a solution for a world free from poverty and hunger, as well as the fact that family farming supports sustainable development. This was followed by an open fire cooking activity where all classes were involved and parents and volunteers assisting and imparting some skills and stories in the process. The school grounds were inundated with smoke and sweet-smelling aromas of food as they lead up to the World Food Day program in October, with the theme for this year, Family Farming, Feeding the World, Caring for the Earth. The school was immersed by smoke, and the emphasis was for the upcoming generations to appreciate local foods and participate in agricultural activities and eat healthy. Last Saturday looked very busy out on the water in Alofi as keen fisher folk were busy trying to catch the big one as part of the Alofi North Pre-Show Day fishing competition. There were 10 registered fishermen out on the boats reeling in some pretty reasonable catches. The overall winner was Des Hipper, who managed to reel in a big whopper of a marlin that weighed in at 38 kilos. The Wahoo category, first placing went to Brendan Pasisi with 24 kilo fish. Second placing was Mariko Hipper with his 18 kilo Wahoo, and third placing went to Kennedy Tukutama with his fish, weighing in at 16 kilos. There were no tunas caught on the day, and the only other fish was a mahi-mahi caught by Ian Richardson. More than 40 people registered for the Vaka category, and for some, the catches were plentiful, and for others, they came away empty-handed. The heaviest tuna was caught by Simatanivesi, and that weighed in at 15 kilos. Second placing went to Dimitri Vidiamu, and third placing Chamberlain Peter. Puni Kapanga got a prize for his 6 kilo mahi-mahi, and there were no wahoos caught out on the canoes, but there were lots of different bottom fish. For the bottom fish category, young William Basisi had the heaviest overall catch. Second placing went to Ero Kulupa, and third placing to Ikuwaki Sietu. The heaviest individual bottom fish was caught by Justin Mogoya. The overall Vaka champion with the heaviest overall catch went to Dimitri Vidiamu. Over 30 people registered for the reef fishing and collection category, with results and prizes yet to be distributed at the show day prize giving. Most of the catches of the day were quickly snapped up by those who were there to purchase. And that concludes our news bulletin for this evening.